The number of veterans facing long waits to receive compensation for injuries incurred during their tours of duty has plunged in recent months. This improvement comes after a report by our partners at the Center for Investigative Reporting found that the number of veterans waiting a year or even more for their benefits had increased by more than 2,000% under the Obama administration. And Sacramento, where veterans previously faced some of the longest waits, has seen major improvement. Edwin Del Rio is a student at City College in San Francisco. He served 4 years in the Marine Corps, including a tour in Afghanistan. Edwin was an assault man in an infantry unit. He came home with foot, knee, and ankle problems, but the most serious injury has been post-traumatic stress disorder, including flashbacks from the time he came upon a family that had been murdered by the Taliban.
I started having nightmares, insomnia, and just mood swings right in the middle of the day.
Turn up the amplitude.
In the middle of class, I'd have to leave. I'd get panic attacks.
Edwin filed a disability claim with the Department of Veterans Affairs, seeking compensation for his injuries. Then he waited and waited.
First time I was living off the top of ramen noodles for several weeks. And like I said, I'd take out payday loans because I didn't have enough money to get myself through the month.
2 years passed before the VA granted his claim, but by then Edwin had racked up more than $10,000 in debt. The agents ultimately cut him a check for $31,000, which included back pay for all of the months of waiting. Edwin was finally able to pay off his debts and find a better place to live.
It definitely makes me feel more secure financially, and that if I need something that's supposed to be provided through the VA, that eventually they will provide it.
The Center for Investigative Reporting has found that across the country, veterans like Edwin are finally receiving their long-awaited benefits. This spring, the center revealed that the number of veterans waiting more than a year for their benefits had surged more than 2,000% under President Obama. But since March, the average wait time nationwide has plummeted by nearly 4 months. In Sacramento and the Bay Area, the average delay had been nearly 16 months, but wait times have dropped by nearly a year. Congresswoman Jackie Speer has been pushing for improvements at the VA, and finally, she's seeing a difference.
I think we can say that they've gone from an F to a B, and that's huge progress.
The VA missed its October goal of eliminating all claims that were more than a year old, but the number of vets facing that wait fell by 87%.
Frankly, I didn't think they were going to even come close, and that's a huge reduction.
And Speer isn't the only one applying pressure. In Washington, members of Congress have repeatedly called on VA officials to testify about the long wait times.
I would just refer to the folks in the Benefits Administration who have brought this backlog down, 193,000 claims in about 190 days.
The Secretary of Veterans Affairs responded by expediting a new computer system and forcing all employees to work mandatory overtime.
We have set a long-term goal of ending the backlog in 2015.
But critics say not enough is being done. The new computer system crashes often, and employee overtime won't last forever. At the American Legion in Los Angeles, Vietnam veteran Dave Culmer has spent the past 40 years helping veterans get their benefits. He's worried about what will happen when attention on the VA starts to fade.
When the pressure's reduced and when the dog and pony shows go away and the tents are folded and they're out of town, what happens? How do they perform at that point in time?
And even with the improvements, hundreds of thousands of veterans are still waiting. Iraq War veteran Jason Ayala filed his claim almost 2 years ago. The former Army sergeant has severe back problems and post-traumatic stress disorder, but he says he can't afford to take time away from his low-paying job in private security to address his medical needs.
Not having that claim disability approved, I can't have regular checkups, nor will I be compensated for the time that I have to miss from work for an existing condition that has nothing to do with my job now.
Ayala has an appointment with a VA-contracted doctor to evaluate his medical condition. He hopes that his long wait will soon be over, but he still wants better for his fellow veterans.